Hello everyone and welcome to another game I played on PTCGO. As you can see, the screen going into matches has been refreshed. It'll tell you who has the advantage, so it appears my opponent does in this match. And I'm going to be playing Beedrill Virizion. So I've played Beedrill Leafeon before, but I figured I wanted to try it out with Virizion since that came out in Plasma Blast, and it will sort of benefit the fragile Beedrills and Weedles on your side since they can't be poisoned. So I'm going to mulligan, and my opponent gets to draw an extra card off of that. We'll start off with Sableye and bench a Weedle, and hope that I can go somewhere with this, because oftentimes your opponent just steamrolls you early on. But it looks like I'm facing off against a Blastoise Keldeo, potentially a Black Kyurem. It's still a scary matchup. I do have the type advantage, but once they get a Blastoise into play, it's really hard to stop them. So they're going to end. I got a fairly decent hand, although I would prefer a different supporter other than Chorus. They're going to put down another Keldeo on their bench. They do play Floatstone, so that's going to be fairly annoying since many Blastoise Keldeo decks do not play Floatstone. So they're going to be able to retreat at will. Here I'm going to Ultra Ball away a Sableye and a Grass Energy to get Virizion into play. It's not going to be really useful in this match since he's unlikely to play anything like a Hypnotoxic Laser, but I do want something to potentially power up in case I can't really get a steady stream of Beedrill. Having a Virizion as a backup attacker is pretty good. And I'm going to level ball for that Weedle, and then I'm going to play a Chorus. I was hoping to hit a Blend Energy so I could Junk Hunt this turn, but I don't end up hitting anything. So I'm just going to end up passing. I end up with a hand with 2 Skylas, 2 Max Potions, a Gold Potion, and a Catcher. So fairly terrible hand to have early on in the game. So the worst case scenario happens. My opponent is going to get a turn 2 Blastoise. And they can only go downhill from here because they get a Juniper. So they're probably going to hit enough energy to attack me. And it looks like they're powering up their benched Keldeo with 3 energy, or with 2. And they're going to energy search for the 3rd energy. Probably going to rush in. And they'll be able to just hit me with Secret Sword for 110 in the knockout. I'm just hoping that they don't catcher up a Weedle and knock it out. So I'm willing to sacrifice Sableye, which in fact does end up happening. So Sableye goes down. I'm going to promote Virizion since it will be able to absorb damage. He can't one-shot it yet. I'm going to end. So I've managed to get another Weedle. Get a level ball as well. Here I'm going to get a Kakuna out of my deck to evolve one of my Weedles. I do play one. I play a 4/1/4 line in this deck. And I'm going to place a Blend Energy on one of my Weedles in case I do get the rare candy. Here I'm just going to end my turn, and hopefully he won't be able to knock out Virizion on this turn. If so, I'll be down 3 prizes, and that won't be a good position to be in. So going to my opponent's next turn, he really wants to start powering up that second Keldeo, but it looks like he's going to Ultra Ball instead for a Black Kyurem. So he does play the Black Kyurem variant, which honestly isn't all that necessary, but the advantage for him is that Black Kyurem does not have a weakness to Grass. So he may choose to attack with that instead, and we see him start attaching to his Black Kyurem. But so far I haven't seen any Lightning Energy in play, so that will sort of neutralize that threat for now, since he doesn't need at least 1 on it. And he's going to Secret Sword me for 110. Unable to knock me out yet, still. Here I'm just going to burn cards from my hand so I can play Bianca. I'm going to catcher up Blastoise. I'm debating. But at first I'm going to Super Rod everything in my discard pile that I can. So 2 Sableyes and a Grass Energy. And I'm going to catcher up that Blastoise as I originally intended, just to stall and try to draw something from this Bianca. I do end up getting a Beedrill, so that'll be useful. I don't have any way of retreating that Virizion, so I'm just going to leave it in the active for the knockout, and I will attach a grass energy onto Beedrill and just end my turn. So at this point, my opponent will be up 3 prizes, because they're probably just going to rush in and hit me with Secret Sword for the knockout. But first we see a Skyla for a Heavy Ball. So this means he will Heavy Ball for a Blastoise, undoubtedly. He could get a Black Kyurem, but no, he goes for Blastoise. And he will probably Rare Candy here into Blastoise, which is exactly what he does. So now it's pretty pointless to go after Blastoise because he has 2 in play. So it's probably best to take the knockouts on Keldeo, if I can. So he does rush in with Keldeo. He's going to Secret Sword here for 90, since I do have resistance, and the knockout. Here I'm going to promote Beedrill. So I can hit him for weakness, but that's still not enough to knock him out. But I did draw that Silver Bangle, which I do play, which will allow me to do 30 extra damage. And 60 plus 30 is 90, times 2 is 180. So I will hit him for the knockout here. But first I'm just going to Coal Rest to see if I can get anything else. Nothing too useful, but I do get a Rare Candies and Skyla, so I could bring out another Beedrill next turn if need be. I'm going to Swift Sting for 180. And of course, poisons and confuses because I'm fully healthy, but it knocked him out anyway, so it was pretty pointless. And I get a Beedrill off my prizes, so perfect 2 prizes to get. My opponent's going to send up a Black Kyurem. If he can power this up, it's a good attacker to work with, but if he can't, he can always just power up the Keldeo on his bench and rush in for the knockout. But I'm not sure which route he's going to go. It looks like he's going to Ultra Ball, discarding a Tool Scrapper in the process. I'm not sure if that was the best play, but it probably means he has a means of getting energy this turn, and he does with that energy retrieval. He's going to get back 2 water energies. He can attach them to his Keldeo, and that's exactly what he does, although he takes it back and then does it again. So with these attachments, he now has enough to attack, and he's going to play another Black Kyurem on his bench, Computer Search for a Juniper, and now this is pretty bad for me. He finally gets that Lightning Energy on Black Kyurem, and he has enough energy on Keldeo, so he can rush in, but he needs 1 more for the knockout, so he needs to attach 4, and he does. So he attaches 4 to Keldeo, so now he can hit me for 130 and the knockout. But first he's going to put down a Tropical Beach. So at this point, it's fairly late in the match. Probably not going to help either one of us. I'm going to promote a Weedle, and I will Rare Candy into Beedrill. And here I can Skyla for a Silver Bangle and take another knockout. But first I'm going to attach a Grass Energy to Weedle. I'm going to get a Silver Bangle. I play 3, and I still have 2 in my deck, so that's pretty good. I'm going to attach that to my active, and once again hit for 180 in the knockout, and this will take a lot of energy off of his side of the field. But of course, Blastoise Keldeo decks nowadays play superior energy retrieval, so that won't be quite a major setback. So my opponent will promote his Black Kyurem, and with 1 more energy he will be able to take the knockout. And just as I said, superior energy retrieval, he happens to play 1. So here he'll be able to get back 4 energy. Looks like he's going for all water. So he's going to attach them to Black Kyurem and hit me for 200 with Black Ballista. But he's going to attach more than just the 4 required. So this will set him up for continuous Black Ballistas if I'm unable to get a knockout, which given my hand, it's probably highly unlikely. So right now we're tied at 2 prizes, so he can take 1 this turn, and I will need to take 2. And now he has his Black Kyurem with a lot of energy attached to it, and hitting me for the knockout. Still leaves him 4 attached, so just enough to attack. So I'm going to promote Weedle. I will Skyla here for an Ultra Ball. That's really my only option to keep myself in the game. So Ultra Ball will get me a Rare Candy Beedrill, so I can actually Ultra Ball away one of those rare candies, and a Virizion, since I don't need all of that right now. I'll get myself the Beedrill, rare candy. So if I can paralyze and I will confuse and poison him. No paralysis involved here. With Swift Sting, and that'll do 60 damage. I'm not hitting him from weakness, but the confusion does mean he won't be able to attack unless he has a way of powering up his other Black Kyurem. So at best he can retreat, but if he doesn't have extra energy, I have an extra turn to do something here and potentially take the 2 prizes. But it looks he's gonna Skyla. So if he gets a Skyla and he manages to hit a switch or an Ultra Ball or a Superior Energy Retrieval, he can come back. So he's gonna get a Superior Energy Retrieval. He's going to retreat his Black Kyurem, play that Superior Energy Retrieval, and he will just like that be able to power up his active Black Kyurem and take the knockout. So this was a fairly close match. Hope you guys enjoyed it, even though it was a loss. But Beedrill decks aren't really all that competitive. It might actually be better to run it with potentially something like Garbodor to stop your opponent from retreating, or with Russian and stuff. But anyways, thank you for watching. Bye.